Time once again for the RNL Rundown. I'm Jason Portuondo. Thanks for joining us as we get set to preview some of the night's action on Racing Night Live. That comes your way each and every Friday, exclusively on TSN from 7 till 9 o'clock. Special treat. We've got 4 thoroughbred races for the first time. So, once again, an action packed 120 minutes, 9 races. 9 races. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk some football. We'll talk a little basketball. And oh, yes, it's Masters weekend, is it not? So, hey, let's tee things up. Let's bring in my foursome who always, get this job done. You know that I'm here. We're going to bring in first up TSN Radio's Carlo Colaiacovo. We got Fubo TV's Julie Stewart-Binks and Woodbine Entertainment's Chad Rozema. Let's jump on into things as we always do. A little racing first, guys. The third race at Mohawk, it's the Harvest Series. It's a second leg. This one for Ontario sired 3-year-old Colts and Geldings on the pace. There's a look at the field. I think there's a slam dunk in here. But Carlo, as always, you are first to tee it up.
Well, Jason, I think you're right. I think there is a slam dunk, and I hope I chose him. I'm going with the 10-horse National Sport because I played hockey, and I like to think hockey was a national sport in Canada. This horse is paying 2-1, but I think that the really impressive thing about this horse is the way it won its last race. It led from start to finish, and I think it carries that momentum over into this race.
All right, guys. Well, this race is very interesting because there are so many winners from other races all together because this is part of a series, I've been told. 2 preliminary races and a final. So we are seeing what was my lock last week. Delightful Terror did not end up being a lock of the week. Also, Chad, I'm bringing you down into the mud with me too because you picked Delightful Terror. We got Delightful Terror needing a win in this one, and Cold Creek Cabo, who I always want to say Cold Cut Combo, is in first. Very good horse, has won 2 of the last 3 races, can race with the pace, near the lead, and still win. So this sort of makes me think of almost like the scene in Anchorman, which is the newsroom battle where you have Ron Burgundy in Channel 4. That is Cold Creek Cabo, and then you have Wes Mantooth and Channel 9 Evening News, which would be Delightful Terror. And then you got Public Access, you have Channel 2, you also have Spanish language news, because you also have so many winners in this race. So this is definitely one to watch, but I like Cold Creek Cabo to be able to do it again.
All right, so you guys are on to some of the first leg winners. Not this guy. I'm going to go with one that really needs some points, going to have one more. And I love Troubled Trips. And last week in his division, he was loaded with horse behind them, just never could find a way through until very late in the race. Tonight, I hope that Bob McClure can put together the right winning trip with this horse, who gets major post relief too. Look for a price. I'm going to have one more.
I've been out with you before, so I'm not surprised you chose gonna have one more, which ends up being maybe 3 or 4. Glasses of water, of course, glasses of water we're talking. But hey, Carlo, I've got nothing more to add. CC, you're the man. National Sport. I'm riding with you, bro. This horse is just too good.
See, we picked the same horse. Love it.
There we go. Go with Colaiacovo. That's all you got to do. We're going to follow Chad out of there and beat him. It's as simple as that. Hey, golf. 84th Masters. I know we got a little bit delayed because of Mother Nature, but for the first time ever, we're talking Augusta National in November. It's a thing of beauty.
Amazing.
Those words have never been spoken before. Bryson DeChambeau goes in as the 8-1 favorite, guys. Tiger Woods, defending champion, started at like 40-1. Somebody put a $5,000 bet on him, went down to 35-1. My question is, Tiger, does he make the top 10, top 20, the cut? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm wearing my Masters green because I am pumped for my Masters this weekend. And it comes to Tiger Woods. I mean, every time there's a tournament and it involves him, it's going to be exciting. You saw what he was able to accomplish last year in his comeback tour, winning the Masters, which was one of the most, exciting golfs that we got to watch. But I'm not buying Tiger Woods this year. Like, he's battled too much injury, too much inconsistency in his game. I actually don't think he makes the cut.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going to have to echo Carlo on this one. I mean, we all saw the magic of the last Masters with Tiger, and whatever you thought about his past and his personal history, it was a comeback story moment that was great to get behind. That's not going to happen this year. Ever since the restart that they've been able to play through coronavirus, like, he didn't even make the cut at the U.S. Open this year. He came 37th in another PGA event. He's played 6 times this year, and he's barely stuck his toe in the water for playing golf. He doesn't look like he's in good shape. He is not the Tiger that we once knew. Like, that was a cool thing that happened a year and a half ago, but health is always an issue. And then you do have to look at the field, and we will talk about that later. But whether or not Tiger can keep up, he's going to get lapped by some of these younger guys that are just in better form than him.
Ouch. Ouch.
No.
Well, you're talking
The old card.
The president and the CEO of the Tiger fan club. Go ahead, Chad.
Oh, Tiger, by the way, just finished making his second birdie. He's 2 under through 6. He's sitting tied for 5th as we speak right now.
He's going to flame out.
To good start. He doesn't even get off to good starts at the Masters. You know what? He just has an affinity for that course. And 14 top 10 finishes in 22 tournaments, I'll take those odds. I'm not saying he's going to win, but he'll threaten and he'll be a top 10 finisher again. You don't have to be physically perfect to win at this course. You just got to be smart. And there's one thing Tiger is, and that's smart around that course.
My head is saying one thing. My heart is saying another. I don't want to have to give back my brother card. So, Tiger, come on, let's go. Let's go. I'm going to go Tiger Woods to, yes, make the cut. He'll play on the weekend. Top 10, Tiger. Do it for me. Do it for me. So, hey, it's the brother in me coming out. I'm sorry. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't make the cut. But I'm going to go with Chad. I'll say top 10. We spoke of the bonus race coming up this weekend, guys. For the first time ever on Racing Night Live, we have 4 thoroughbred events. We got a race 9 that has more question marks than a first date. I have no clue what's going on. In fact, the favorite going in, Cat Zapper, he's over his last 34. Hasn't won since November the 25th of 2016. And Carlo, that is the favorite. That goes to show you just how wide open this race is.
Yeah, it is wide open. I mean, I love caps and I hate zapping them, so I'm not going to go there. I am a big fan of Navy SEAL movies, though. In particular, Act of Valor, Zero Dark 30, Lone Survivor. I just love the whole build, the toughness, the cerebral mentality of a Navy SEAL. And I'm going to go with the 10 horse here, SEAL Team 2 at 10-1. This horse has the real knack of pacing itself and finds its second win down the stretch, which is the exact make of what a Navy SEAL does. It always finds that second win to come out on top of the end, and I feel like this horse is going to do the same thing.
All right.
Yeah, well, I got a different pick in this one here. I'm just making sure that wasn't scratched after hearing this. Okay, great. I don't think so. I'm going with Kids Mischief. I thought that's what Carlo was going to go with because working at home with kids. But if we've learned anything from A Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Kevin McAllister talking to the hotel attendant, it's, I do get into mischief, ma'am. We all do. So I feel as though Kids Mischief is just always undefeated. This is a horse that has been racing in higher classes against tougher competition and has still been able to kind of keep pace in a way. So I feel as though coming down to this class, this horse is going to do well. Cat Zapper, I'm still learning how to read the programs. From my understanding, when Cat Zapper was racing at the 7 furlongs and also the 6 furlongs, kind of also around similar class, like this doesn't seem like a horse that has really battled a lot of adversity in a way. Like maybe has come not and hasn't won, but really hasn't shown a whole lot. Kind of like someone that goes to school in their hometown and really never leaves it and sort of just ends up being like the mayor of their town. They go to the same bar every weekend, have the same friends. Nothing's really made this horse stand out above and beyond.
Go ahead, Elmira Chad.
Yeah, well, Home Alone was on the Rozema network last night. Lost in New York, Home Alone 2 will probably be on this weekend. I'll be watching that. But hey, you know what? We look at this race. There is no wrong answers going in. That is for darn sure. And I'm going to go with a long shot in here, 20-1. And I think it's a race you can take a shot. 2 timing from post 13 on Friday the 13th with Toomey. doing the riding. Blinkers on. Here's a horse that was so consistent last year, and this year, outside of one runner-up finish, just hasn't been able to find any kind of a groove. I hope that this is a match made in heaven between the new rider and this horse. I think he can come up with a big effort. So take a shot in this last race.
Clearly, Chad's handicapping angle is going back to his college days. Going to have one more. Now he's two-timing. Anyways, we'll just move on. I will say this. You know what? This last race, I haven't guessed this much since my calculus days. I have no idea. I chose the 9, Hayden's Case. Why? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just going to go with that horse and hope for the best. That race is almost impossible to figure
Roll the
out.
dice.
Exactly. Why not? Why not? And we got more questions, guys, in terms of the NBA season. Last check, they said December 22nd is what they're looking at. It's still not a hard date. Raptors, where are they going to play? Because they can't keep crossing the border. So a lot of things are just up in the air. I'm going to pose the question to you guys. Who do you like as perhaps the early favorite to hoist the Larry OB?
Well, Jason, like you mentioned, there's still a lot up in the air. But if you had to start the season today, I think you got to look at the Brooklyn Nets. They're getting one of the best players in NBA back in Kevin Durant, and you team that with Kyrie Irving and what they could potentially add. I think they got to be one of the favorites going in.
Yeah, I agree with Carlo on this one. We didn't get to see what the Nets had last year because of KD's injury, but you have KD, you have Kyrie, you got Steve Nash there too, and a lot of the networks here in the States are like, oh, is this it for the Nets? Like, they haven't even had a chance to have all of their pieces in place to be able to compete. It's going to be very difficult for the Raptors in the East, besides the foes that they've had in the past. But the West, you have to think also, the Lakers still have the best player in the world in LeBron James. And you got AD, a top 10 player as well. But I'm very curious how they get back into things after such an emotional year. First and foremost, of course, with Kobe Bryant's tragic passing, but then also they played for like 10,000 years, and they were in a bubble. And so I'm just wondering how it doesn't feel like that long of a layoff for these teams, but the Lakers are still definitely very, very good.
For me, I'm going to go a healthy Golden State team. Obviously, they're going to get their main players back to start the year. Let's just fingers crossed they stay healthy. If they do, they have the big turnaround. So I like them to come up and just be at the top of the heap again.
I'm going Lakers. I look at the team. You talked about it, Julie. You got LeBron. You got AD. All you need is, a few ancillary pieces. Those two are a two-headed beast you just can't knock down, and they proved it just most recently. Other guys that aren't the greatest, but just some guys that are going to give them some points here and there, and until you take the title from around their waist, that belt belongs to the LA Lakers. As of right now, I think the championship stays in Los Angeles. All right, it's time. The most favorite part of the show for yours truly. The most wonderful time happens when we get a little RNL rundown, fast blitz, if you will. Time for rapid fire, where we get a chance to blitz the crew. Always on the track first. I need a lock or a long shot from Mohawk. Carlo.
I will start. I'm with my long shot, and I almost hit it last week with Sunny Sicily, and I'm going to go back with Sunny Sicily. Last week, 12-1. This week, 5-1. But I think this horse has what it takes to finally win its race. It's running in the 7 race at Mohawk. Good odds there for a horse that almost won last week.
All right. Well, with Mohawk, I'm picking my lock as the number 2 horse in race 9. Hello, Love, or Hello, Love. And this one is going down in a class where she was successful 4 starts ago. Finished 5th in back-to-back races against some of the best mares in the circuit. But now this is the only horse in this race that has won at this class. Again, if I'm reading these programs correctly, that is someone that I want to put my money on.
I'm sticking RNL races, and I'm going to go with a lock at Mohawk 2, race number 4. I know this horse Jason's not even using, but Lainey Hanover, the 2, tons of talent last year. She's had things holding her back, but now she's getting back to work, and I think Gallucci will have her ready to go off the bench.
Whew, you said Lainey. I was like, oh, where's he going again with this? Anyways, let's move on. Race number 3, my lock is National Sport. Carlo talked about this horse early on. Post 10 doesn't bother me. Going to follow the 1 horse out of there or the 2. Doesn't matter. I think National Sport is a slam dunk. Hey, What's Friday the 13th without Jason, right? I want to ask you guys, do you believe in this triskaidekaphobia thing? Anybody got any superstitions out there? Carlo, do you even care about stuff like this?
Currently, no. But when I played, I was very superstitious. I would always eat the same things on game days, do it at the same time, dress the same way if I had a good game, and change it if I had a bad game. So, in my life right now, don't pay much attention to Friday the 13th, and don't pay much attention to superstitions either.
Yeah, on the heels of Carlo with that, I think like right now, if I don't know, like I blow on eyelashes and make a wish like that and not tell anyone what it is. But when I was a competitive figure skater, I had every superstition in the book. I would put my hair over one ear before I'd go into a jump. I'd wear one glove like one time just because it would like help me. I was completely messed up, and I find sports psychology fascinating with superstitions, but not too many these days.
None for this guy. I'm not saying I don't believe in them. I just don't practice any of these superstitions. But Porty, you can attest to this. If we talk to any of our horsemen, we'd get a long list of guys that have got a lot of superstitions.
Unreal. That's all I got to say. Unreal. Jinxes only happen to people that believe in them. I don't. I love Friday the 13th. And that's all I got to say. And by the way, I want to see Julie do a triple toe loop before the end of the season because I didn't know you skated, girl.
Ooh,
That's pretty
tough
cool.
These days.
That's okay. We're all going to go to
Years ago,
Rockefeller
but
Center
not
in your
now.
backyard to watch it happen. Simple as that. Simple as that. Woodbine, guys, give me a lock or a long shot there, Carlo.
I'm going to give you a lock at Woodbine, and I know we're picking horses, but I'm going to go with the favorite jockey that I like to take, and Daisuke Fukumoto. He is running in the 6th race, Keen Samurai, at running 5-2 odds right now as the favorite. So that's my horse.
All right.
All right, my long shot from Woodbine is in the 7th race. This looks like it's a race that could be won by Last Endeavor, but I'm going at 8-1 odds with Summer Load because we are getting a load of summer here in New York, as you guys are in Toronto and beyond. Looking to be close to fast at the finish, so I like this horse.
I'm going to go race number 6 at Woodbine, and on behalf of our producer Shannon McGonigal, Burning Love, a huge Elvis Presley fan, I think this one is sitting on a big effort.
I'm going to go Deja Vu Sealster, 15-1, race 4, Woodbine Mohawk Park. Let's move on. A little NFL.
Lock?
Hey, the Steelers.
15-1 lock?
No, that's my long shot, Carlo. That's my long shot. My lock was national sports. Oh, good. No worries. No worries.
You went the other way.
Let's talk a little NFL. The Steelers escaping Big D last week, somehow getting to 8-0, but now they got COVID issues. Ben in protocol. A few other players is Ben hurt. I think they got a tricky one against the Bengals this week. I know Cincinnati's just 2-5-1 off the bye. It doesn't have to be this game, guys, but give me your point spread slam dunk, if you will.
Well, Jason, I am going to stick with this game because my point spread slam dunk is the Cincinnati Bengals plus 7.5. Listen, as good as the Pittsburgh Steelers have been at 8-0, the last 2 weeks, their offense hasn't clicked at all. They've actually been lucky to win the last 2 games against Baltimore and even last week against the Dallas Cowboys. I think they're due for a letdown game, especially when you've got 5 of their offensive players in COVID protocols too, not being able to practice. Divisional game with Cincinnati, coming off the bye week. But here's the key point. It's not Joe Burrow. It's Joey Covers because he is 6-2 against the spread as a starting quarterback.
Oh, wow, that's some good numbers out there. And I will tell you, Carlo, on the Steelers mention, I feel like they're kind of like that kid in school that somehow just got by without like studying for a test, but they were able to make it work. Like nothing's
That was
ever
me.
really
That was
clicked
me.
for the Steelers, but they got by. What I'm taking on this one, I don't know, a bit risky, but I'm taking the points with the Buffalo Bills. I'm riding high in Bills Mafia right now. I spoke with former Buffalo Bill Kirk Morrison on my show this week. He is just like, you know what? Once you beat New England, even if Tom Brady's not there, it's like the air in Buffalo changes. And so they have finally done it. They are rocking in the AFC East. And I think they have no problem with the Cardinals.
Remember when it used to be fun to watch the chess match between Ray Lewis and Tom Brady? Well, we're not going to see that. And it's not going to be very fun for the New England Patriots. Baltimore on the road, don't care. They're touchdown favorites. I think they win by double digits.
I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to see the Packers are at Lambeau. They're taking on a very suspect team in Jacksonville. Packers, I'll lay 15, not even 14, 14 and a half. I'll lay 15. Finally, guys, last question. Masters. Give me your Masters pick. Are you going to go North America or do you want the field?
I'm going to take the field here, and I'm going to go with the big Spaniard, John Rahm, paying at 9-1.
Oh, baby. I am going North America because I love North America, and Dustin Johnson is primed to win this one. He's come so close every single year. Just watch yourself on those stairs, and you'll be walking home with that green jacket.
I'm sticking North America too. I'm going to go Tony Finau. Third Masters. He's played great in his first two. I like him today. Quick update on Tiger. Another birdie. He's 3 under. Just saying.
Oh,
It's early. It's way too early to start counting how the Masters is doing right now.
wow. Well, I live in North America, right? I was born in North America, so I'm going the field. The heck with North America. There's going to be an upset. It might even be like Paul Casey. I don't know. Henrik Stenson. It's going to be a throwback, so we're going to find out. Guys, appreciate it as always. It's been a lot of fun. And look forward to having you back next week for another edition of RNL Rundown brought to you by HPI Bet. A reminder, check out Racing Night Live every Friday only on TSN from 7 until 9. And for the first time ever, we get our Race 9 from Woodbine.